is so much meaning and so much symbolism in those paintings, and I don't expect anyone to get it.
Okay.
Why? Because it's for me.
Okay.
That symbolism is for me.
Okay.
However, the intention is I want you to feel something when you look at it.
Okay. Okay. Hello everybody, and welcome to some more of VIII Lacrimosa of Donna. So in the last episode, we've had numerous primordials coming in new variants, larger numbers, and we're just like, where are they coming from?
Yeah.
So now we're going to investigate, and we think we can find out by going to the top of Mount Gendarme.
Yep.
So that's our destination. But of course, we are going to clear out and make sure all the locals are happy. Ah, shining armor. Okay, Kathleen wants pure orichalcum. Adventurer needed. I would like Adol to assist me with a matter of utmost importance.
A pumpkin pie recipe.
Cathu, the ship's almost ready. We're going to have a christening ceremony. Well, there we go. Alrighty. Pure orichalcum.
I wonder if she's like, I want some to take home.
Look what I found on my trip.
Weren't you shipwrecked? Yeah.
Alright. No impurities. This stuff is super rare from what I've gathered. It's not like, oh, we'll just go back to the orichalcum mine. No. That's just regular orichalcum.
Yeah,
We need
well,
the
I mean,
pure stuff.
she wants it, like, free of impurities.
Alright.
That used to be a big deal for, like, sculptors when they were sculpting with marble.
Mm-hmm.
Because not all marble is, like, perfect.
Okay.
There's, like, cracks and like, pockets on the inside.
Okay.
So if you got, like, this giant chunk of marble and you're almost done with your sculpture and you're just, like, a little bit more off that left forearm, and then you, like, chip it.
Mm-hmm.
Wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
There's no fixing that shit.
Alright, then.
So it was really difficult to find, like, free of imperfection.
Okay. Oh boy, we're gonna make ourselves some white wine from fermented tree sap. So for this side quest, we have a couple locations where we have to grab sap from the trees. And I think... yeah, like I said, like it's in multiple locations, so you can't just harvest it from one. It's just like, whoop, that's the end of this tree sap. Still need more. Go look for more. Thanatos. Why needed? Alright, he's going to tell you where you can find it. Talk to Thanatos, and he'll say trees growing around swamps and marshes.
Okay.
So there we go. Okay, so we have a point here by the Endless Coast. We'll investigate here. I'm not sure what this would be because that is neither a swamp nor a marsh. But maybe we'll find some pure orichalcum. Maybe. Just maybe. And you monsters are a scuff to me.
Big old stirfish. You just trampled that fish in the water.
Yes, I did.
You just weskered that fish in the water.
I weskered the fish. Hey, that's our boat. Boy, that
Seems
was a
like a
long
waste
time
of
ago.
a good boat.
Places I'd never been before. Like the place right on the horizon. That's
Like
about,
there. Like right there.
Oh, about 6 miles. All right, we'll fix the boat. good as new. And with the Okeanis dead, we can go a lot further.
Yay!
And now I can go even further than before.
Push past your limits.
Push past your limits, yep. Started with Goku, switched to Yami, it works. It's all Japanese anime motivation. The Solitude Island.
Go beyond.
Plus Ultra. Engraved pen. Interesting. That would be a lovely, lovely little gift.
Makes me wish I knew how to read.
Alright, what fine specimen can I fish out in the Solitude Island?
So you see one of those monsters flying at you and you're like, oh my god!
Can you imagine like a smaller group of the Castaway Village goes off to Solitude and be like, we're building our own village. Screw you guys. Ooh.
Well, that's a big one.
Colorcan. That's an S rank. I got a strength elixir from that baby. S rank fish.
So I wonder if it counts for 100% completion to catch all the fish.
It probably does. It's one of those reasons why I'm stopping. Not even that I usually go for 100%. It's just finding satisfaction in like 80% is fine. Like getting every fucking mystical coconut in a game just means nothing to me anymore. Like there was a time when like bragging rights was fun and all that, but like it matters more to me to like get my hours in a game.
I feel like it's very juvenile to be like, I finished the game 100%. Right, Jeremy? Well, I have a full-time job, so like I'm trying to find a new go-to name because my go-to name was always Jimmy, but I work with a Jimmy and now I can't use Jimmy.
It's weird because like back in my day, when I played games, like all that stuff, it was just like you can engage with it if you will. There weren't really checklists. Now all these games kind of like press you with checklists of be like, did you find all 100%? Because we'll reward you with extra stuff. And I get both sides of the problem. If you put in the extra effort and the game's like, oh, you did all of it? Here you go. You feel like, what the fuck? I put in all this effort.
Yeah.
Why should I put in all of this effort? But like, if you just want to play by the game and it's just like, oh, you only got 60% of the game done, you're just like, oh, 60%. I guess I really sucked.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't really do that good. So, like, games now just brag about, like, hundreds of hours of content by just grabbing menial shit.
Yeah.
To say, like, oh, I completed this. And, like, I don't care. I love this game, but, like, I don't care about finding everything. I care about, like, getting the true ending.
Yeah.
That stuff intrigues me. Like, what gets the true ending? But
see,
as
to
for,
me,
like, 100%
that
completion,
don't
care.
That is what would like motivate me, because I mean I've talked about it in nearly every single playthrough so far. I freaking hate it when it's like your reward at the very end for doing all this crap is like the ultimate sword that would have made your battle far easier than, you know, the 14 game overs you received during that time.
Yeesh.
And it's just like, well, what the fuck? Like, I could have used this before the final battle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why would you get something that is, at that point,
really
meaningless? You know, it's meaningless at that point. Like, the game is over.
Oh, hey, we got a Picard over here. That's not a Picard.
It's Sir Carlin.
How the hell are you alive? Why are you alive?
You guys may hear me clicking the air conditioning on and off throughout the playthrough.
Oh, is it no longer on a timer?
Well, it's on 65.
I got you.
Just enough to cool me down.
Sir Colin's like, well, this is the end. Had a good run. How the hell did he survive that Kraken's bitch slap? Like, it literally
Well,
took
I
a
mean, he
giant
would've-
tentacle and went,
He would have
die,
just
mosquito!
washed ashore.
Rakota and Loxia. Rakota and Donna are like, who's he?
They're like, please just know that we wish he wasn't here.
This is Sir Carlin, the only character that Sahad doesn't like.
Stuffed shirt.
Dinah has to pay up. She's like, oh shit, I thought he was dead. Here's 10 materials
I know,
to Euron.
counting coins, like, god damn it.
All right, pay up, damn it.
I have mixed feelings about your praise.
Haven't changed a bit.
Oh. Rip that scab off.
Dogie laying it down hard. About time.
Yeah. Wasn't he just alone for like weeks?
Honestly, when I first saw this scene, I'm like, okay, he's going to do some reflecting and change at the last second of the game, but at least he's going to change. And he kind of does in his own way. Like, you're going to see very shortly that once you max every character's approval, they have a max approval cutscene.
Yeah.
Every single castaway.
Yeah.
And his is kind of like the closest he gets to being a half-decent person, but in his own way.
Not good enough.
Yeah, clearly not good enough, but like he comes to, basically it's like, oh, I like you, Adol.
Yeah.
That's basically what it boils down to. Adol's cool, these other guys, they don't know any better. Alright, so anyway, so now we got Sir Carlin. Because again, I want to rescue all the castaways. And I believe we have one more. One more castaway that we have to find somewhere on this island. A castaway who story-wise has no purpose whatsoever.
Yeah.
But apparently is an Easter egg to a previous Ys game.
Yes.
So we'll explain more of that when we meet said person. For now, wine needed. Alright, that's a marsh. Foot of Gendarm, that doesn't seem right. Okay.
Armlets.
Here we go. I remember this area.
This is where you find, well,
Up the hill was where that big old primordial was, who I could probably take by now. Maybe we'll try that. But for now, put on your mud boots, get scouting. Let's find ourselves some of that there tree sap. I don't know why I'm stopping to fight all these guys. It's not like they really give me much EXP. The nice thing about turn-based RPGs is when you're super over-leveled, some of
They
them
just
are so
die.
nice where
Yeah.
it's just like they die without even starting a battle. Like, that's one of my favorite things about Earthbound.
yeah.
You go in and we're like, boy,
See, it's like,
you win.
I think though, like, for something like this, you might think it's a little annoying because you still have to fight them, but they still give you stuff you need.
Yeah, good point.
So it might not be EXP, but like you need the materials that they drop.
Yeah.
Because that's like with 9 when I'm like, pick up the copper. Like if you leave copper, I will throat chop you.
All right.
Like,
all right.
Because
Violent little vixen.
well, because it is like you do need it.
Okay.
So it is like a chance to grind that you can still.
Oh, we're going after the big boy. It's a T-Rex, bitches.
He's a level 42.
Level 42. We got him. We're in the 60s. 60s weren't too good to you, were they? Yeah, I'm not worried. Especially because I got them memorized after that brutal night trek up the mountain where there was like 12 of these things. And I was just being like pulverized and ping-ponging back and forth. Now I got their attack patterns memorized.
Yeah, but it's foggy here.
It's foggy. I can't really see.
Well, I think you killed
But I got a
him.
defense elixir. And that's what I wanted. What's neat is, if you're clever, I wouldn't even say if you're clever, but like if you memorize that, you can start a new playthrough, and when it's chasing you, you can find that defense elixir.
Yeah.
Don't even have to kill the sumbitch. But you better make sure you got it right,
Yeah.
because otherwise he's coming and he'll one-shot you. But like there's a lot of playthroughs and speedruns where they utilize those kind of tricks to get to the end faster.
Speedruns are just another thing that I'm like, congratulations on cheating.
Congrats on breaking the game.
Like,
It's good for playtesting purposes, to where it's like, hey, I can get through here. How? I jump off this crevice
Yeah.
and I keep rolling until I'm above the
but
trees.
again, that's like, that's play testing, not like,
Yeah.
welcome everyone to my YouTube channel, like, where I ruin your favorite game.
Well, you always have the choice of not utilizing those tactics and just being like, no, I prefer to play the authentic way.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't watch those channels.
How the developer intends to wear what the players allow. That player freedom. It's a very controversial topic. It's like, do you prefer like full freedom, or do you prefer like going the recommended route? There's pros and cons to each.
Well, I mean that's an age-old question for art in general.
Yeah.
You know, was that the artist's intention, or is that some bullshit you made up?
Yeah. Well, I see where you lie on the spectrum, because you literally classify it as some bullshit you made up. Instead of the freedom of the viewer, the death of the author. Those are the terms.
Some
I get.
bullshit you made up.
All right, fair enough.
Because, I mean, it's the same as, like, there was an artist, oh my god, I just lost his name. It's Splatter Painter.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know who you're
The
talking about.
primordial population has definitely increased.
Oh, here we go.
Anyway, he did, like, he had this big show and everything, and there was one that was all black and white, and there was, like, a splash of red on the, like, the bottom corner. And all of these people were like, oh, the red signifies this, and it means this, and this piece overall means this. And they're just going on and on about the significance of, like, the red on the painting. And when they asked him in an interview, like, oh, this piece is wonderful, like, what did you intend for? And he was like, oh, it was too close to that one that I was painting. Like, it was quite literally a fucking accident.
Yeah.
Like, there was no intention behind it. He just liked the way it looked after and kept it.
Okay.
So that's what I mean by, like, the intention versus what the viewer makes up about it.
Yeah.
Anything can be art if you make up enough bullshit about it.
True.
And it's like, that's why it makes me angry, though, because if it's not intended, like, it's all about the intention.
Okay.
So it's like, yes, you have the freedom to make up the meaning behind it. But if that's not the intention, it quite literally is bullshit.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, yeah, speedrunners, it's great. You can find all kinds of holes in the game. Those holes aren't intended to be there. Like,
Okay.
you know,
We can't determine anything from up here.
I don't know.
At all.
I know it's a lose-lose like conversation, because there's always going to be people that are like, well, the art is in the interpretation of the, yeah, what the fuck ever. Like, I'm sure you also love white on white,
When it might come under attack again.
which is the, like,
Hummels, the
I
great
hate that
tree
painting
may very well
so
be the cause.
much.
Let's
Okay.
check in with the village before we make
Like,
way to the great
if
tree.
I could burn any one piece of famous artwork, it would be white on white.
All right, fair.
It is literally a white square painted on a white canvas.
Oh, that one.
And it sold for like $13 million. Like,
Uh-huh. See, that's the kind of stuff that makes me roll my eyes. I can tell it makes you visibly upset.
well, it's because you have all of these people that are very skilled artists.
Okay.
They make beautiful works of art. But because they don't have some big ass bullshit behind it, they don't get recognition. They don't get that gallery spot, because the gallery spot goes to the person that best bullshits that why their artwork is important. Like, it is what it is.
Right.
You know, that's why I essentially wanted to leave the art world, is because it was so pretentious. It wasn't about how skilled or talented you are.
I feel that with a lot of mediums in the art world. Not just drawings,
Yeah.
but like all mediums, from like
Writing.
film, writing.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of pretentiousness.
And it's just like, it's so infuriating. Like,
But my stance is to just kind of like wave it off and be like, not for me, not my dig. Because like I'm in the minority.
it's
I
just
know
though,
that,
whenever it's your
of being like-
entire being,
But also
is
like
that...
there is that insecurity of like, am I gatekeeping?
I don't think so, because
Okay.
if you're entire... So I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm very vulnerable, so please don't make fun of me in comments or shit.
Hear that, Fado? You're the only one that watches this series.
I love art. Art is a part of who I am
All right.
as a being. Not just a person, but like as a being. I think about it all the time. That would make a great painting.
You're falling for
That
the-
would make
the
a
soul
great-
trap.
It's not a trap.
You don't
It's not
think
even
so?
it's not even a soul. It's just like it's who I
No.
am.
Remember the movie Soul?
Yeah.
Music is who I am. That's my spark. That's my
Well,
me.
no, it's because it's not the only thing that makes me who I am, but
True.
it is. I think about it all the time.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, I see the art in literally everything. So, to have that passion basically be like, not good enough. Why? Because you're not bullshitting why it's art.
Okay.
And it's like, I personally, my personal viewpoint and stance is I shouldn't have to.
Okay.
It's just like I'm doing this whole series on grief, paintings from losing my parents, and you know, all of this stuff. There is so much meaning and so much symbolism in those paintings, and I don't expect anyone to get it.
Okay.
Why? Because it's for me.
Okay.
That symbolism is for me.
Okay.
However, the intention is I want you to feel something when you look at it.
Okay. Okay.
You don't have to understand what all the symbolism is, but I want you to feel something when you look at it.
So if they feel something that's not your intent, is it bullshit?
No, my intention is for them to feel something.
Okay. Okay.
So, using like the painting of my dad as an example, the way that his body is positioned in that painting is symbolic.
Right.
The butterflies, the way that the butterflies are positioned is symbolic. The way that the bird is positioned is symbolic. The flowers are symbolic. The words are symbolic. No one that doesn't understand or know the story of what we went through with my dad, they're not going to get any of that.
I really need to start putting your galleries on Pupcorn. Like just links.
Like-
to your pages.
But for that painting, like,
I'll start doing
if you don't know what happened to him,
it. Right.
you're not going to get it.
Right.
I'm not expecting you to get it. Why? Because this was a way for me to release my grief.
Yeah.
So what I want someone to feel when they look at that is I want them to think, wow, that's beautiful. That's my first and foremost. Is it attractive to look at?
Okay. Okay.
Like, humans are very much attracted to pretty things.
Fair.
It is natural for humanity to be attracted to pretty things.
Yes.
Pretty is subjective, of course. Different people find, different things. But whatever. But I want them to feel kind of sad when they look at it.
Okay.
Like, and to me, it does. When you look at it, it looks sad.
Okay.
So, and it's like, when someone looks at it and they're like, wow, that guy looks really happy, I'm going to kind of question them to be like, what makes you think he looks happy? Like, everything about that, slumped shoulders, covering the face, looking away from everything, holding the bird out, the butterflies are flying away from him, like, it's not a very happy looking painting.
Right.
So, but somebody that bullshits the way and be like, no, this is why it's happy. That's not my intention.
Okay.
And you have now bastardized the intention of the artist. Because of your own pretentiousness.
Okay.
Like, that's what I don't like about the art world.
Gotcha.
And then when they're corrected by the artist, they're like, no. They don't accept that they were wrong.
Okay.
And it's like,
hold accountability for just misjudging, I guess, for lack
and
of a
it's
better
like,
term.
it's one thing because sometimes, like, I don't know, it just, like, maybe it is, like, a soul issue. Like, for somebody that is talented, I just wish that they could be seen more than the person that's just good at explaining why something that isn't aesthetically pleasing, that doesn't really give off anyone emotion or make you feel anything, but the paragraph explanation they have next to it is what makes you feel. Be a writer.
Okay.
Let the artists have their art and be a writer.
Yeah.
Like, if I have to read a book to understand why that art is emotional, then the art isn't good.
No, I understand that. Like, if you have to ask the author what's the point of their story, you made a bad story.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
If I can't get it from reading, and you have to explain, oh, this is what the story's about. Well, that's not in here.
Yeah.
Like, that was a problem I fell into numerous times. Like, Phil was like, all right, what's going on here? And I explained it. He's like, that's not in here.
Yeah.
And he pointed it out to me, and I said, oh, shit, it's
And
not.
that is
it's
what
very easy to
proofreaders
mistranslate
and
what's in your head to what's in your book or your game.
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly. And that's why I appreciate what speedrunners do in the sense of, like, making the game better when it releases, but to just willingly go through and break the game, like, that's such a bullshit move. Like, to me, I'm just like, that's so annoying.
A lot, because, like, one of the most speedrun games is Super Mario 64, released in 1996. These are from people who have played the game so many times that they're constantly looking for different ways to make it fresh. So they beat it the authentic
Play
way.
the next game.
That's not how it works. So they revisit
but that's
the
what I'm
game
saying
that offers
is, like,
replayability, and they master the mechanics. And they're like, oh, but if you do this, you can bypass this little hurdle.
but that's, again, it goes into the idea of intention. You're not intended to bypass that hurdle. You're intended to play through it. If it was supposed to be bypassable, then there would be a recorded method of bypassing it.
Okay.
It's like, to me, that's like, and again, it's me being sensitive. I do understand and respect the other view. I'm just passionate about it.
Okay.
But isn't that the biggest fuck you to the creator?
It can be.
I
can definitely see how it could
that,
be.
like, how do
if,
you
like,
claim
you put in
to,
all
like,
this work and it's like,
and then they're
I'll
like,
just go to this
but
way.
I found a way to break it and just skip that part because I don't like it.
So, like, that...
Like, that's just such a, like, that's such an asshole thing to do. Like, again, I do have respect for the people that have played through it so many times that they, like, because I've watched you do that, where you know when the enemy's coming, you know what little holes you need to go down, you know what things that you need to bounce off of and do things. To me, I'm like, oh, wow, that's impressive. But to be like, but did you know if you go behind this box, there's a glitch that sends you straight to level 5, and you don't even have to play through the first 4 levels. What? What the like, what an asshole move.
Yeah, if it's a glitch.
Like-
Now, in the original Mario Brothers, if you ride the, I think it's elevators up, you enter the warp zone, which allows you to skip and go to worlds 4, 2, 3, and 4. But that's an intentional design. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you
Again,
found the warp
if
zone.
that's an intentional...
Or you found the warp whistle. You can use this to skip a level that's giving you trouble.
But that's just it. Do you have to play through those levels first?
No. So how it works is the warp whistle is from Mario 3. You can buy it from a shop, and it's like, if there's a level giving you trouble, use the warp whistle. You use it, it's gone, but you get to skip that level.
But that's just it. If it's giving you trouble, which means you have entered into that level,
Most likely, yeah.
that's one thing. It's like, to not even go to that level. Like, I don't know, just as a creative person, I would be so angry if somebody was like reading one of my books and they're like, hey, listen, if you just skip to chapter 25, you don't even need to read chapters 3 to 24. Like, everything will make sense in the end.
Right.
That's the entire journey, though. That's like the
True.
meat of the storyline. Is you just fucked it, man. Like, you know,
what if it's a roadblock that's keeping you from accessing the rest of the experience? I'll give you a good example. Rayman. The 99 lives things is technically a cheat, but if I don't use it, I'm not accessing.
But then we
the
also
other
go back
levels.
into intention. They intentionally didn't playtest that game. They intentionally released the 99 glitch because they knew how difficult that game was because it was an experiment. It's the intention.
Okay.
Whereas if they were intending it to be that difficult, and then somebody was like, oh, but if you do this, there's 99 lives, I would be pissed as a creator. Do I love that 99 lives? Yeah. Or else I would not make it past, like, level 2.
Right.
But it's the intention.
Okay.
That feels good.
I don't know. To me, that is the number one most important thing just in every aspect of life is the intention.
The intention. Okay.
Like, you know, it's say I'm not feeling super awesome and you don't know that and you say a joke and I cry.
Yeah.
Was your intention to make me cry? No. Am I mad at you for that? No. Because your intention wasn't to make me cry. Whereas have we gotten into arguments where your intention is to hurt my feelings? Yeah.
I get in arguments when I'm not even aware that I took your covers.
Oh my god. He is such a blanket hog.
There's no intention because I'm not cognitive.
You rolling over, grabbing the blankets off of my body, and then sandwiching yourself. That is an unconscious intention.
I don't remember any of this.
That is self-preservation. You were like, I am cold. Fuck that bitch.
Because at the start of every night, I take the covers, flap them on you, and then snuggle in, and then I'm out. And then when I wake up, I take the covers and put them on you and leave.
But from the time you are asleep until the time you are awake, it is an endless battle.
What battle? I'm unconscious. I'm practically a corpse.
You are a corpse with a death grip.
I guess so.
To the point I have my own blanket now.
Like, isn't there a species that, like, when it dies, it just, like, rigor mortis?
I mean, everything that dies will rigor mortis eventually.
Okay, well,
Because rigor mortis is your body basically settling, so your blood's not pumping anymore and you become
Gotcha.
hard.
okay. I guess I sleep into rigor mortis then.
Yeah. But anyway, to me it's the intention. Like, if there's a skip that is intended, because technically you can say that for any game that has a fast travel. It's like, oh, well, you're skipping over things with fast travel. And it's like, but that is an intended aspect to the game.
Yes.
And for most fast travel, you have to go through the game to
if you
initiate.
have a problem with me using fast travel, eat shit and feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, no. But again, the thing is, it's not just immediate fast travel. You have to go to that location and activate the fast travel at some point in time. Like, that's the way it works. You can't just fast travel to a place you haven't been to yet.
Right.
So it is a purposeful, intended skip.
Gotcha.
Where they're like, okay, you've seen this area, you found the fast travel, go for it. Mm-hmm. But if you haven't been to that area and seen the place yet, they're not going to give you the option to just, well, fuck everything I work for in this area and, you know, go ahead and just skip it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I agree with what you're saying. I feel like it just sounds
It's
harsh.
not very eloquent because I'm very passionate about it. And it's like, this is something I can understand and to a point respect an opposing opinion, but you will not ever change my mind.
Fair enough.
Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, if you skip a level, like, I don't want to be friends with you. You're a terrible person. No. It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game.
But, like, if I didn't know you and I was listening to this and I heard you, I'd be like, I agree with what she's saying, but fuck that tone of hers.
I mean, that's just my tone and everything. Like, I have a very harsh tone. But it's just because I'm passionate about it, because I care so much about the work and effort these people put into what they're passionate about, even if I don't enjoy it myself. You know, it's the same of, like... I keep coming back to, like, Golden Sun just because it's such a good example.
Okay.
I respect so much all of the work that they put in and all of the really fantastic things that were unheard of at the time.
It's not even a bad game.
It's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's not even a meh game. Like, the dialogue is what gets me. I'm just like, okay, get to the point. And for somebody with, like, an attention span
all the
issue.
RPGs I played is kind of in the myth category.
Yeah. But, like...
Which is fine.
But
there was a time when it wasn't meh. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Because it was new and it was...
Exactly.
It did a lot of really, like,
Everyone here?
inventive things.
Yeah.
But it's like... If somebody was like, that's my favorite game ever, I'm not going to go through and give them every single reason why it's not my favorite game.
Right.
That's, like, a jerk thing to do.
Agreed.
I can respect the game, even though it's not my favorite. Mm-hmm. And I would still be very upset if somebody was like, hey, did you know that you can skip the entire middle part of the game and just go straight to that volcano? Mm-hmm. Lighthouse, it's not a volcano.
Volcano? I'm like, hold on, wait. Where was there a volcano?
I'm making shit up now. Like, I would be upset because those artists, the game designers, the writers, everyone put so much effort into it. And that is what I am passionate about.
Yeah, you can't
like,
speedrun a fucking movie. Hey,
but,
did you know that you could skip Mufasa's death and go right to the ending? Yeah, through the scene selection. What the fuck's your point?
But you're missing the entire meat of the story. You're like, you can skip all these things, but it, like, you're not going to get the desired effect by skipping it.
Yeah.
Because if you would, why would they put in the work and the effort to create it?
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. All right. Soapbox over.
Yeah. But that's why I have a real shitty tone, because I'm just very passionate about it, and it's like...
No, it makes sense. And again, I agree with you. I'd word it differently, but the passion's the same. I agree with you. It's like, that's cool for you. I don't see the appeal in it. Because, like, it's the DVD. Like, I'm not going to speed run a movie. Why would I speed run a game and rob myself of the authentic experience?
And it's just like, for somebody that does want to do that, I don't want to do that with you, and I don't want to talk about it with you. Why? Because we're not going to change each other's minds.
Correct.
So it's like, if you like to skip through games, I'm not going to talk about games with you.
So, like, for future streams, if someone's like, oh, do this secret, probably not.
Listen, unless it, like, if it's a genuine, again, intended secret, by all means, tell us. I love those things. Why? Because the creator intended you to find it.
Those are called Easter eggs.
But if you're like, hey, if you go here, you can skip to the last lap, fuck you.
Yeah. Alrighty. So this is a variant of the boss that we fought when we were just Donna. So it's very interesting because after we beat this guy, we're going to see a lot of parallels between Adol and Donna.
Yeah.
And why they're the two titular characters. The two characters, basically, on the title. No, not the title. The cover of the game.
I just noticed that his little, like, tree branches he moves them like wings.
Yes, he does.
Oh, that's so cute.
I found this guy a bit tougher than the ice variant. Maybe it's because Adol is more of, like, a powerhouse and less fluid like
Yeah.
Donna is. Donna's easier to dodge with, I feel.
Yeah.
Whereas Adol, like, he can really dish it, but, like, you gotta get out of the way.
He's a resin cannon. He's not going to break after 1 or 2 hits, but eventually he will crack.
Eventually, he will crack, indeed. Oh, come on. But also, there's not, like, multiple forms that Adol can change like Donna can.
Right.
Like, in that fight, she could go through 3 forms and do varying degrees of damage. This time, it's all swords to the face. You don't have to worry about the shackles on the legs or anything like that. But also, fire hurts so much more than ice in this game. Come on. Move away from the burning floor. The floor is lava.
It's on fire.
Help.
Oh, here it comes. Damn it. Stop, drop, roll. Stop, drop, roll. I love doing that move. You've never played these games, but in Tales of Symphonia, you do this move called Tempest! And he spins just like that. He basically uses his swords as like a wheel.
Okay.
And like if you spam it, you can be like, Tempest! And you bounce off the ground, and you can do Tempest again. So you're like a bouncing ball of death until you run out of MP.
That's terrifying.
And it's beautiful.
Oh.
Where is everybody?
I'm alone. I don't know why I just pictured Squidward in the elevator when everything is white. Alone. Alone.
Alone.
Hey, there you are.
Adol.
So did they hear, like, any of the fight going on? Did they hear the monster and, like, Adol, like, and they're like, huh, I wonder what's up with that? Or were we basically just, like, in a different dimension?
I don't know if it would be a different dimension, but I think maybe the fog has something to do with it.
Okay.
Because you also couldn't see the tree through the fog.
That is true.
Magic fog.
Where are Sahad and Rakota? No, I like this. Strange voices pierces through this fog. You do it too, don't deny it.
I guess it didn't work.
You haven't lived if you haven't ran into the fog screaming, ah! So I want you to notice this
a heart
funny little
attack.
blip that's about to happen. So I changed Adol's costume. And what's happening here is Adol's getting like a searing pain in his arm, very much like Donna. So just watch. He changes his outfit.
They're like, listen, we didn't know that in the that you wouldn't be in the red outfit. Okay.
They change him back for that moment because it's just like, God damn it, you picked the wrong suit. We need to show this symbol. It's very important.
Just showed up out of the blue. Why the hell does Adol have it?
Or in the context of the story, Adol's like, no, hold on. I gotta get in my red shirt for you guys to see this.
See
Bring me my red shirt.
He tries to roll up his sleeve and he goes, son of a bitch.
Adel, why do you order them to bring you your red shirt? Because if I were to be shot and bled, they wouldn't know the difference and keep on fighting.
Alright, Deadpool.
Adel,
Everyone, look!
12 primordials in the distance. Bring me my brown pants. That's an old joke.
Okay, so don't get mad.
I made something special.
The cone of fog surrounding the great tree is expanding.
What's going on?
The evolution of the world.
Ooh, here we go.
New by the great tree of origins.
Alright, bring me back my green shirt. I don't want to get the red one dirty.
Something's coming from the fog. That's the robed fellow we saw at the Valley of Kings. But who are the others? Ah!
Those people.
Right now is when I wish you would have seen Twilight.
They're monsters!
No thanks. So, these characters talk very quietly, so we're gonna keep quiet.
Okay. Let us begin by introducing ourselves. My name is Hydra.
Hail Hydra!
Hail Hydra.
I am Minos. Upon closer examination, you humans are far more frail-looking than I had expected.
My name is Nestor. I do not require that you commit it to memory. Nevertheless, we are well met.
And I am Ura.
You are Adol, I presume. We wish you no harm.
Really?
I'm skeptical, but I suppose we should hear them out.
So who are you?
Selection and rejection. As I mentioned before, this process is the means by which the Great Tree fosters evolution. We are the Wardens of Evolution, beings who have been tasked with overseeing that process.
The Wardens of Evolution? What you said earlier, the evolution of the world begun anew by the Great Tree of Origins? What does that mean?
It is beyond your ken. The Lacrimosa has visited this world many times over the ages. That humans now claim dominion over this world will not forestall the inevitable.
Jeez, Nestor, put a shirt on before you poke someone's eye out.
I didn't even see.
She has like a big old
Exactly.
spike from her chest.
The same fate that befell the Eternians will befall you. Humans have been rejected for the coming
Well, because she's a
evolution.
buck.
What? What?
You mean we're all gonna die?
Unfortunately, yes. The Lacrimosa will bring forth a cataclysm, which varies in accordance with the era. The resurgence of the prehistoric world unfolding before your very eyes. That is, in fact, the Lacrimosa of this era.
Its effects are currently confined to this island, but in due time, it will spread across the world. So it has been decided since time immemorial.
This has got to be some kind of joke. We're getting out of here and going back to our normal lives.
These are understandable reactions. I sympathize with your plight, but there is nothing we can do.
Not once in the entire span of existence has a species thrived forever. By necessity, the species must be renewed to maintain the world.
Simply put, the Lacrimosa is the natural law of the world.
Do you think
All
Nesta ever
living
looks down and
creatures
pokes herself in the eye?
must accept its judgment.
Every time she tries to tie her shoes.
Shit! God damn it.
Huh. What is it?
They all have the same symbol as Donna and Adol.
Feel bad for Minos. He got his burning sensation on his stomach. He probably just thought his IBS was flaring up. Oh, I got a shit. Nope, I've been chosen. Oh boy.
Donna? No.
It seems you've remembered. When the Lacrimosa comes, a single individual is selected from the species facing extinction. That individual will then witness the destruction of their own species. In doing so, the cycle of selection and rejection will be perpetuated for all eternity. We, the Wardens of Evolution, are those chosen.
You, Donna, are the chosen warden of the Eternian era. It is only right that you be by our side.
Donna, then...
The symbol on your arm, Adol, is proof that you've been selected to be a warden. That is why we have come to greet you.
Why was Adol chosen?
Only the brightest soul among the species facing extinction is selected to become a warden. As the selected soul, you are beholden to this fate. Now cease your resistance and join us.
No. We refuse to accept this.
Why do I imagine Hummel in the background being like, well, that's one way to make a guy feel bad. Only the brightest souls. Throws his little arms up like, well, whatever then.
You will see us again. Steel yourselves.
Until we meet again, Donna.
Wait!
I mean, if I get some fries, will you have some fries? Shall we get a plate of fries for the table? I hear the clicking of doom in the distance.
Yeah, so do I. It's weird how their reasoning is, oh, humans have so much potential. Yes, and I'm sure every other species thought the same thing.
Yeah.
They're all ripe with potential.
Part of me wants to be like, and look at us now.
It's your time to go. Yeah, really. It's like, no, Loxia, we peak early.
Like, listen, the Enlightenment, that should have been a sign.
Crystal's like, I'll help.
I remember. have coffee burps.
Oh, they don't even give us a choice.
Oh no, you have to.
It's like we're seeing.
You
this
have
shit.
to remember.
Wow. Eternian certainly did a 180.
Yeah. They were all like, "We love you, Donna."
Well, they just were like peaceful people, like not a bad bone in their body, really.
Well,
and then
because-
shit hits the fan, and all of them are like, "Fuck them, burn the witch."
Well, I think because like they've had what centuries of peace and prosperity, and now it's like their crops failed. They have no food. They're hungry. It's like their entire environment is being destroyed. They don't know what to do.
It's time to spread the word, and that word is panic.
Yeah, basically.
So now we kind of have to keep on the down low. This is the closest this game comes to stealth.
Yeah. I do really I'm very, very curious as to why they wanted to make Donna so much smaller than the rest of them.
I
Was-
think just so she's not completely towering over all the other characters.
Yeah.
Like she's a bit taller than all the other characters, even Adel and Hummel. But if she was like as tall as Olga, it would just look weird.
I think it'd be amazing.
You think so? Okay.
It's just like that scene that we just passed with like Olga and her where it was facing the other way. I was just like, "Oh my god, she's a baby."
Yeah, she is a baby.
Are you okay, little Donna?
Like, did they like look at that?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Been like that all throughout the game.
I know. I know. And just like, I don't know. I was like, wow. Okay.
Either that
Could
or
you-
Olga has very high heels.
Could you imagine how like there are people that have small dogs and they have to put like little steps on the steps for like the dog to get up?
Yeah.
I wonder if they did that for Donna. Like, oh, I'm sorry, these are big steps, Donna, into the temple. Like,
Put some steps right next to her bed.
like little Donna-sized steps.
Yep.
That'd be adorable.
I could see it, little staircase next to her bed when she goes to
Like,
bed.
this
and
one's
gets
just for
out.
me.
Oh, boys. I feel so loved as the maiden of the great tree.
Until everybody's like, "Ban the witch."
When I was a kid, I had to have my parents lift me up on bed. When I became a maiden, they built me steps. And then when this cataclysm happened, they broke all the steps.
Aw. Could you just imagine them out there like mean mugging her, like as they're like chiseling her little steps away?
Oh, that if they see her, they'll kill her. That's basically what they're
Yeah,
deciding.
I'm like in my own little
So they're not gonna mean mug her. They're like,
story
"Where
memory.
is she?
We'll kill her.
Stone the broad." So it's like, whoop, can't go there.
She's like, "This is where being little is a good thing."
We'll hide through all this obnoxiously large architecture. They won't know.
I go through phases of being like, I wish I was
Oh,
short.
shit.
Oh no,
We've been caught.
not very good at stealth.
Facts.
She's like a little doll.
Mm-hmm. I like this. It's like, no more lies. I'm done. And off he goes.
She's like, "It's not a lie."
gotta believe in the power of Adel.
Who?
Oh no. I broke my sandal.
Did you now?
Oh shoot.
Oh, I can go up here. Sure. Good thing I had a little bit of explorer's intuition, or I'd be like, where the hell am I supposed to go? Oh, of course. Of course.
You know.
One of these things is not like the other.
That's why I'm
One
always
of
like,
these
I don't
things
know what
just
I'm
doesn't
doing.
belong.
I don't know where I am.
Well, usually the map cues you in, but this time it's just
Yeah.
like, you got this big symbol here in this square. Where's my exit? Alright, no problem. Made it to the central district. Gotta go the long way. Head for the mountain gate, no problem.
I'm a sucker for this type of storyline too. I get so like, ah!
What type? What type?
Where it's like the basic terms. The good guy is like falsely accused.
Ah, okay. And you have to clear your name.
Yeah.
Alright. Another vision? Oh, jeez, things just keep going from bad to worse.
I can't stop now.
Hey, look! That's her, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
It's the maiden of the great tree! Stop her!
Freaking migraines always ruin
Donna's
a
like,
good
wait, I'm
stealth
incapacitated.
Hang on, let me take some Excedrin.
Where do you think you're going, your eminence? You running from your guilty conscience? Is that it?
But I helped you on your side quests. I was the best person in the world. Now a little bit of snowfall and all of a sudden, oh, I'm
It's
the
Ash.
It is Ash?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was snow because the next time we see Eternia, it's covered in snow.
So I think there was a few episodes ago, it was Ash because of the cataclysm of all of the comets.
Okay.
And then it blocks out the sun. And then it starts to snow because there's no sun.
Okay.
But I think it could be a mix of ash and snow.
Does ash fall that way? Because it's falling like snow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please tell me why this happened.
Depends on what type of...
Why didn't you
I thought ash fell quicker.
Why didn't you protect your people?
Depends on how much of it there is.
Alright, fair enough.
I'm curious now. We're going to look it up.
Let's fact check this shit.
Falling star landed.
Because I remember, like, when it starts to snow is when everybody goes inside.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't have an answer for you, Rastal. But
This
as your
part sucks.
maiden,
Even Rastal
friend to all
no
who
longer
have
believes in
fallen
us.
and to those who
Because
still
his
live.
father is dead.
I want to know why this happened more than anyone. I want to know why so many people had to die. I want to know how I can still save Eternia. Still save my people.
Your Eminence.
All hope is not lost. I am Donna Eclusia, Maiden of the Great Tree, protector and leader of the people of Eternia. I never have and never will forsake my
Okay.
solemn duty.
So
I
from
will learn the truth
Google,
of what happened here.
and this
No
is
matter
due
what.
in case from
Now stand
volcanic
aside.
ash.
Gotcha.
Falling ash behaves in a similar manner to snow. However, the sheer weight of deposits can cause serious damage to buildings and vehicles because it does not melt.
Gotcha.
I understand why you are angry.
Well, their aim sucks. Oh, oh. Rastel deflected.
Rastal,
This was one part in the book that I liked how they did it.
Oh, okay.
Your father's dead. There are things
This
I'll
particular
never
scene or
be
what's
able to
about to
tell
happen?
Like this particular scene.
Okay. How does the book do it?
Like this.
Oh. So the
Yeah.
book was faithful
Yeah.
to the game, hence it did it proper.
Well, because
I thought
they-
you meant, it was one change the book made that I liked.
No. So, well, because it is a little bit different.
Okay.
In the sense the book makes the relationship between Donna and Rustle like romantic,
Gotcha.
which I'm not a fan of. I'm okay with it because like I could see that being a thing, but it's like neither of them are allowed to be in a relationship.
Gotcha.
So it's like one of those like
Jedis.
if only, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like that they kept this scene where like the village tries to kill Donna and Rustle's like, not today, bitches.
Not today.
I think it's a little more violent in the book
Oh.
because Donna's like fairly certain Rustle is dead, that they kill him,
Yeah.
and then he comes like limping back, like missing a leg, and like yeah, it's
Well, you see him later, like all bandaged. Spoilers.
yeah. Shocker.
Because Olga's like, I don't think he's gonna make it, Donna. And you're like, shit, Rastal
Yeah.
just went. And then you see him later. It's just like, aw,
Yeah.
Rastal's okay. And then the Eternians die out, and it's just like, shit.
Like,
Rastal's
God damn
dead."
it. Yeah. I don't know. It was like, I don't know. The book was a decent book, but it did make some liberties that I was just like,
Tune in to the future beyond the book for more information.
facts.
That's your way of telling me to shut up.
It's me double dipping. It's me being like, yes, great. But also,
Have your
more
thoughts,
infor-
but not here. Don't do it here.
savor them for another video that I can get viewership for.
Yeah. No, I want to do a Beyond the Book for Ease, specifically Lacrimosa of Donna. I did just finish reading. Oh my god, I already forgot. I get it.
Must not have been that memorable.
No, it was really good. I confuse it with another game that has a similar title. I think it's the Darksiders
Oh, okay.
with War.
Yeah,
Okay.
Darksiders. Yep.
There's another game that's apparently really fucking hard that I always confuse that title with.
Dark Souls.
Yes.
Very
And
common.
I was like, which one is it?
yes.
That one is a little bit more difficult though because the book itself combines all of the games,
Oh shit.
and we have only played one.
So you know the rest of the story.
I don't know
Oh.
because I mean, if I would have read the book for this first and then played this game, I would have been like, why
You
isn't
had a
Loxia in
Darksiders
love
book.
with her butler? Like, you know,
Oh,
it would
yeah,
be.
yeah.
I would have questions. But yeah, it's a book, but it even prefaces, like, it takes liberties from the game.
It would have to, because they didn't finish the games. We're still waiting on the final entry.
But the book itself is primarily through the point of death.
Oh, the second game.
But it's like there were still things from the game that we played
Yes.
that I was like, oh, I remember that.
Interesting.
But no, it was a decent book.
Uh-huh. I'll be really pissed if they never give us a final game and they're just like, did you read the book? Kiss my ass!
Well, the book doesn't, like, wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
Almost there.
Okay.
For everyone's sake, I need to hurry.
So it's like, where we are thus far.
Yeah.
The story thus far. Okay.
But I wanted to do one on that. I wanted to do... Oh, I have a list somewhere.
Okay. Well, tune in.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember other, like, adaptations.
The Witcher.
Would love to do The Witcher.
Witcher.
We have to play the game, though, so I can do all three.
Do we have to play all the games then? Because apparently they're remaking the first one.
I would say no. I think just enough to get an idea.
Okay.
Because I do know that the author,
Because 3's the most popular one. I have 2.
The Wild Hunt.
It's good, and then Wild Hunt came, and it's now considered meh.
Okay.
So that's the situation it's in. Whereas the first one is just like, well, it's a Witcher game.
Well, I know, like, okay, so the author of the books came first.
Yes.
Out of everything. The books were first. And then he sold the rights to the books for the games because he was convinced that they wouldn't make any money.
Correct.
So, and then the games blew up.
Yes.
And he was like, well, fuck me, I guess. And he was really, really bitter about all of it. And then the show came out. And he was actually like, okay, this isn't so bad. So I'm really curious how he's going to feel about, like, season 3 and 4 because they are turning away from source material.
Nobody knows.
So I'm curious to...
He's in a situation where
but,
he's
like,
best
he
to keep
sold,
his mouth shut.
I mean, he sold the rights.
Right,
you know,
sold the rights,
like,
number one.
So he doesn't have ownership of it.
But, like, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
If you don't approve, then you don't approve of, like, what's happening now. And it's just like, you would just be like the Puritans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping. But if he does approve...
I hate the term gatekeeping because it's not gatekeeping.
It can be.
Well, it's not gatekeeping if you want it to remain true to the original source. Gatekeeping is like how Metallica fans were like, oh, you're fake Metallica fans because you watch Stranger Things. And Metallica's like, well, it's still our music. So, like, they're not really fake fans. Like, they like our music.
Gatekeeping is also when Rob Zombie was performing with those anime girls.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, those aren't
with
real musicians.
Baby Metal.
And Rob Zombie was just
like,
they
fuck
rocked
you.
harder
They
than
sure are.
any
Like, yeah.
other band I've played with.
So
these girls are legit.
Have you ever watched Baby Metal?
No.
They're intense, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I've heard some and I'm just like, neat.
Yeah.
Not my dig, but neat.
It's just because, like, the idea of what a metalhead isn't, you know, small Japanese girls.
Because, like, I'll tell you right now, like, this is no surprise to anybody. I'm a Zelda gatekeeper. I'm very much like, not my Zelda. What's it doing that shit? I don't like it. Changing. Not good. Like, I have very much qualities of, like,
but I feel like everybody does that in a small capacity.
Okay.
Of just, like, of course, something that you love so much, you don't want it to change. You know,
I
don't think
change,
anybody
but not
likes
enough to where it's like
where it's what it is now. But it's like, again, I don't see you openly bashing people that like the new stuff. So to me, you might say, hey, I don't like it, here's why I don't like it. But I haven't openly seen you, at least I hope not, being like, you're dumb and you deserve dumb things because you like this. Like,
No, not to that extent, but I don't try to associate with those that like it too much, because I'm just like, we don't see eye to eye.
but it's also the people that like it so much are, you know, a decade and a half younger than you.
Not always. So it's a lot more complicated than that. To really get into it, there's those that believe that Breath of the Wild and the newer ones are more attuned to the original first Zelda than any Zelda in between, which I partially agree with. Like, I'm a strong believer that, like, even the original Zelda had structure. The point is finding dungeons. Like, you're not exploring for exploring's sake. You're finding dungeons and you're upgrading your arsenal. But, like, it's hard when the entire majority truly believes that, like, the original Zelda was all about exploration. And I'm just like, yes, it kind of was, but you were still finding things that had value. You were finding things to upgrade your character, to grow an arsenal, to find dungeons, to collect pieces so that you could fight Ganon.
Yeah.
Like, that's where a lot of the animosity comes from. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdoms are the first Zeldas where you can take on the final boss right from the beginning. You'll get your ass pulled out, but, like, it's very much, if you want to, you can try. Whereas even the original is just like, you have to find the pieces of the Triforce before you can even try. It's not if you want to. There's deliberate design to be like, you have to do this before you can try. So, like, it's even that from the original that I latch onto that makes me respect the original. Not just exploration for exploration's sake.
Yeah.
But there is a camp of Zelda fans that like that exploration because I can.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I was never on that boat.
But see, though, and again, it could just be a misunderstanding for me for what gatekeeping is.
Mm-hmm.
Even what you just said, I'm not on that boat.
Okay.
I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
It's a you thing.
Yes.
Not, you're not a real Zelda fan because you like that shit.
Oh, this is sad.
Yeah.
This was sad. So, like, it's a Saurian that's dying because, like, its food
The
supply...
environment.
Yeah, the environment is changing, and it's just like, I have to put it out of its misery. And I'm just like, oh...
Upset.
Like, it's not a dangerous species, it's just suffering, and because it's suffering, it's going to cause a lot of damage to the area.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm just going to put it out of its misery because it's going to be...
Because it's dying.
Yeah. And I'm just like, bruh.
That's how Francine married Stan.
But, like, there's Ys fans like that. It's
Yeah.
just like, man, I hate the Ys games where, like, he has different party members. I
And
prefer
it's
just
like-
Adol being Adol.
And it's like, there's honesty in that thought process of, like, this isn't what made me fall in love with the game.
Yeah.
That is fair. No one can take that from you. No one can tell you you are wrong because it's an emotional attachment.
Right.
Whereas, like, I don't like the idea that people would look at me and go, well, you're not a real Ys fan because you only like the newer ones.
Yeah, I don't want to say,
And it's like, I'm not...
If you like the new ones, you're not a real
Yeah.
Zelda fan. I can't
You are a
stretch
fan, but
that.
you're a different type of fan than I am.
Yes.
You know, it's back to the idea of, like, Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
To see that these kids that watch Stranger Things aren't real Metallica fans
Mm-hmm.
because, well, you watched it in Stranger Things. Okay, dude, well, they're like 17.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't alive in the 80s when Metallica was super popular and in the 90s when they were super popular. Like, there wasn't an option for that.
Yeah.
So, like, it's something that they have since discovered that they like.
Yeah.
That doesn't make them any less of a fan. It makes them different than you.
Okay.
And I feel like gatekeeping is when you say their relationship to that concept or
Yeah.
idea isn't real.
Or inferior.
So it's like, you know, it's saying like, oh, well, you're not a real Zelda fan because you only like Breath of the Wild. You didn't play the originals. You're not a real fan.
Right.
No, the what they feel inside for their experience with it, that is a real fan.
Yeah.
It's just different from others.
There's another layer to it to where, like, right now, I am envious of Paper Mario fans.
Yeah.
Because they are being listened to and be like, oh, we were right all along. And I'm just like, So, like, Thousand Year Door remake just came out. Sales are on the up and up. We don't know numbers yet. But, like, they've been marketing the shit out of this. So I'd be surprised if the numbers aren't good.
The vision just
But it's just like, now Nintendo released a poll of, like, what matters most to you. And people are saying, like, the emphasis on partners, the emphasis on, like, the chapter structure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The emphasis on badges and, like, actually designing your characters to where it's not like this is a Toad. No, we can have a Toad dressed up as a chef and it's Chef Toad.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. Whereas I'm just like, boy, can't wait to the part where we realize dungeons in Zelda are important. Very important.
Yeah.
And upgrading your arsenal is important. Because right now, there's still this big scuffle of, like, it's all about exploration.
Yeah.
Yes, but what are you exploring?
Yeah. I can see the challenge in it though, because you have so many people that love the original.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but you can't keep remaking the original over and over and over again before it's like, okay, we have to do something different. And it's a hit or a miss. So I love that they ask the fans, what is important to you?
Yes.
And it's like, you know, of course, they're still a business. They're going to go with majority rules. So,
Yes.
like, you know, it's unfortunate for the people that like niche things or,
And
or
surprise,
certain
surprise,
things.
I
but,
still
like,
prefer Tears of the Kingdom. I beat the son of a bitch,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, even though I still have a lot of hang-ups that I had from Breath of the Wild, I still view it as the superior product.
yeah. And in large part, it's because they listened to the players that did have issues with Breath of the Wild. And they continued to mesh kind of old versions and new versions. From what I have seen, again, I haven't had
The only
too much
thing they
experience
flat out
with, like...
said fuck you with is the lore and the continuity. Like the Zelda
Yeah.
timeline, they said, we don't care about this anymore. I'm like, boy, that's a real fuck you to the people that's been following your lore.
Yeah.
Like, they flat out stated, we don't really want to worry about continuity in our games anymore. And I'm like,
in a way,
you did for a long time.
Yeah, in a way, I think it could be a smart move, though. Like,
it needs to play out, I guess.
I'm torn because from a storyteller, I want there to be continuity. I want there to be little Easter eggs and things that you can be like, oh, I remember this from this game and whatnot. But from like somebody who was introduced to a franchise much later than when it originated, I am so glad there's not extreme story continuity because I don't know how I would feel because with Ys, I am a new fan and I am a new fan of the new games. Like I like the party system because it's the first one. So of course I'm going to have rose-colored glasses.
Correct.
I like the animation style. I like the art style. I like the way that it is set up. I like the storytelling. I like the unfolding aspect. So it's like, if I had to go back and play the original that is nothing like this to understand,
and very
would I be a fan? Would I be a fan? Because I didn't grow up playing video games, so I don't have the skill or necessarily the deep appreciation for the challenges that come with that. So it's like, I can appreciate that there isn't a strong storyline throughout the games, simply because it makes it easier to kind of like pick a point where you're like, oh, I like this. And you don't have to go all the way back. Whereas like kind of thinking along Darksiders, just because I know that's a story continuity. Like you can't pick up the third game and be like, oh, I understand everything that's going on. It's cool. No, you're going to have to go back and play the first one and the second one. And again, technology advances extremely fast. So like, you might look at the cameras and be like, what is this janky ass camera? What is this weird ass fighting style? Like, and then you lose the passion to play the game that you wanted to play because you have to get through
the hurdles.
No. And it's like, if you're not a game aficionado or like a gamer, you know, you might not want to do that. That's why like you'll ask me if I want to play certain games and I'm like, listen, I might just want to watch it because I don't have the desire to get through the things that are difficult for me. In the sense of like platforming. I'm not good at jumping in real life or in games. So I might not have as much fun as somebody that grew up with that challenge. So while as a storyteller it makes me sad that like, oh, storyline isn't important anymore. I'm also thinking these games are long. They're like an 80 to 100 hours minimum type games. You can back a pretty decent storyline in there without it being a continuity of other games. Because if you think about it, Mario does that. There's some where it's like one connects to the other, but for the most part, to the best of my knowledge, Mario games are like, that game is the story of that game.
Mario
you
never
might
spent
have
so
Easter
much
eggs
time to
and,
be like, there is a timeline, there is a continuity.
Developing lore.
Zelda devoted a decade to that and then said, we don't want to do this anymore. And the people that liked that was just like, well, fuck us. So it's a bitter pill to swallow.
So that's what I mean when I'm like, I'm torn. Because, like, as a storyteller, I love lore and I love having that world and the story and the timeline. But as, this is so pretty.
Serene Garden's amazing.
But as a newer gamer, I'm also like, whew, that means I'm not going to have to endure 20 years worth of games to play the one I want to play.
But, like, what's funny for me, so Tears of the Kingdom is a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild. But a lot of explanation of things of like, oh, what happened to this in Breath of the Wild? They're just like, it's gone. Goodbye. And for me, because I didn't like that shit to begin with, I'm like, good riddance. Fuck you. But to the people that liked that stuff,
they're like,
it just disappeared?
Yeah.
So, like, they rebuild Hyrule and all this stuff that was important of Breath of the Wild is just gone now. It went away, and people are bitter about that.
Yeah.
And I understand if I liked that, I'd be bitter too if it's like a direct sequel and there's no payoff to
and that's
all that
exactly
stuff
why
that
I
was built
don't
up.
think that you're gatekeeping.
Okay.
You have an understanding of the other side.
Yeah.
I don't think gatekeepers have an understanding of the other side.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But then again, I might be thinking too black and white. Like, I'm sure there's a
Possible.
lot of gray area, and they're like...
There's always shades of gray. There's 50 of them.
Bleh.
I know nothing about that. I know even less about that than Twilight.
Oh my... It's awful. It's like...
The Wardens of Evolution.
It's lonely housewife porn.
Ah.
But there's a satirical version of it called 50 Shades of Earl Grey.
Oh, God.
And it's all about tea.
Oh,
and I
no.
kind of really want it.
Oh, bollocks. Alrighty.
Of course, I am the architect of this project.
So this is interesting.
What?
It becomes a point where I don't view them as villains, but the Wardens definitely become antagonist forces.
Yeah.
To where from this point forward, anything you do where it's like, maybe this will stop. The Wardens are just like, hey, what you up to?
Yeah. Always watching.
Far stronger psyche.
They're like the FBI. It's just like, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
We caught notice of that. We caught notice of some suspect activity.
My gosh, it's so awkward trying to Google things for like writing for accuracy.
Was it not made clear to you in your scarlet vision?
It's like that's why I have a lot of really weird and random knowledge. And I'm like, listen, I've had to Google a lot of things from my stories that I create and that I write.
I've done the same.
And I always include, I'm writing a story, Mr. FBI man. What does a bullet hole look like entering and exiting? Like, you know.
Yep.
We shall take our leave of you, Donna. Should you change
I like
your
that they
mind,
go from
please do
biggest
not
to smallest.
I do like that, yes.
We will not turn
It's
you
very
away.
pleasing to look at.
After all, you are a fellow Warden of Evolution.
I do like how they're polite antagonists.
Yeah.
Very much like, yeah, it sucks, but this is the way.
My two favorite types of like villain-esque characters are the ones that truly believe they're doing what they have to do and they're kind of like sorry that they have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like these guys, they're very polite. They're like, listen, I know you don't want to do this and I'm really sorry, but this has to be done. This is
Yeah.
the only way. And then the villains that are just completely off their fucking rocker.
Okay.
So, like Moriarty and Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
He's just Corey and Sherlock.
I got you. And here we are.
Everything's covered in snow and ash.
This scene. Oh, God.
I tried to call out to him one last time, hoping there could still be a chance. But it was no use. You.
How long will you continue this folly? The cataclysms have wiped out all Eternians. Even your best friend, Olga, is gone.
Olga. She gathered the remaining people at the palace and tried to lead them until the end. It was heroic of her.
I see. Far be it from me to ask you this, but why not allow yourself to feel a measure of peace? Why are you still doing this?
Because there are still people I can save.
Who do you mean? The Eternians are no more.
Not them. Adol and his allies, who are defying the Lacrimosa in the distant future, and the Wardens of Evolution, enthralled by its curse. I can still save them both. So please, let me help you, Sarai.
Oh, straight to the heart.
So you noticed.
Yes. It's a foolish notion to think that we could ever be freed from this curse. Do you even understand what you're saying?
I see the way you Wardens look at me. I think I remind you all of the people you used to be.
You wouldn't. Why? I don't understand.
We heard a gunshot.
What?
Ah.
And that's how she was found in a tree.
Aww.
It all comes full circle. I do like how each of the wardens have just a slightly different personality.
Yeah.
Hydra is very much like Nintendo. We understand your concerns, but there is no plan for an Earthbound remake at this time.
Yeah.
Minos is kind of like, that's a little concerning. I guess that is why you would propose that question, but okay. Nestor is just like, what a stupid question, but all right. and Aura's just like, I don't quite understand. It'd be much easier if you just joined us. Wouldn't it be easier for you?
Yeah. I feel like Yura is the one that's like, oh, you would like an Earthbound? Here, try this game instead. With like a smile.
Yeah.
You know?
Those are some fans that could definitely be eating better.
Aww.
They've been strung along with that fucking carrot for 2 decades now.
That makes me wonder, though, like, sometimes when there's so much time between things.
They just want a port of a Japanese-only game, like an official port.
Okay, yeah. That, I would be like, what the fuck's taking you so long?
It's a very controversial, like, it could be a controversial game. It has a lot of controversial elements. It deals with things like child abuse and neglect and
Y'all can't see me slow blinking, but I'm like, we literally play games where we murder everyone and they're gonna like bat an eye at child abuse and neglect. Have you played Little Nightmares?
But also, the other aspect is it has a lot of licensed music that it like pays tribute to.
Okay.
And people wonder if like because there's a flat out segment that's like a throwaway to a gag that's about the Beatles. And a lot of music that's very similar to the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
So like how much copyright is, again, there's so many aspects of like will they, won't they with this game.
It's interesting, though, because what would be the difference if it's okay in Japan that it wouldn't be okay here?
Copyright law is different in the U.S. than Japan.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole different monster.
Gotcha.
And spoiler alert, it's worse here.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's so much worse here. You can.
I mean,
Disney.
All feelings aside, like, Trump tried to copyright You're Fired. So...
Yeah, that pretty much says it all.
You know.
Or there was a YouTube channel that wanted to copyright reacting.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. There was another one that was like a really common word and phrase, and people were just like, you can't fucking copyright that. Like, people say that every day. And they're like, and I want paid for it. And it's like, are you stupid?
There's companies that want to
like,
put copyrights on the water we drink.
Oh, I know.
Did you read about the CEO from Nestle?
Oh, yeah.
This dude wants
that, like,
to own water.
Water is a privilege.
Yup.
And I'm like, listen, a privilege is something you can live without. You cannot live without clean water.
Exactly.
I'm like, and if you look at the ppms in Nestle water anyway, it's not that great.
But no, there's controversy.
Controversy.
There's controversy. There's copyright. There's a lot of elements that makes it a lot of effort to bring it forth. They can do it because they're Nintendo.
Yeah.
But like they're very wishy-washy on if they should do it.
There's a part of me that's like, why wouldn't they just change the music?
They definitely could. But that only takes care of
I wonder if they're waiting
part.
until the music is free game.
Oh, then we have a much longer wait.
How long is it for music?
Isn't it like...
Because I know it's after the death.
Yeah, the death of the artist. But, like, we still have members of the Beatles still around. So how does that work when you have a group like... Is it after... Are we counting John Lennon? Are we counting Paul McCartney?
It's close. Okay. So, from the 1960s won't be in the public domain until the 2030s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they're counting it 70 years after Paul McCartney died.
Okay.
So technically, I guess it's not that far away. Pre-1978 copyrights. First Beatles song in the public domain will be around 2058.
Gotcha. Whew.
That doesn't make sense. Because it went from 70 years to 95 years.
Yeah, that was weird. For now, this is our final battle with Master Kong, and we're gonna fight him with Adol. And I'm really proud of this fight. I think I only take a tiny bit of damage. Master Kong, I am the master now. Just gotta, flash move. Get on in there and show Master Kong who's boss. This is classic Ys, baby. Adol solo. Oof. Yeah, I get hit there, and I think I get hit one more time. This is the closest I ever got to a no damage run in a Ys game.
That's so bizarre.
I'll take it. You know what's also bizarre? You said 70 years since Paul McCartney died. I'm like, something about that doesn't seem
No.
When did Paul McCartney... Hold it.
So, it's So Love Me Do and almost every other Beatles song won't enter the public domain until 70 years after Paul McCartney dies, is like the verbatim.
Okay.
But the one before that says...
Yeah, Paul McCartney's still alive.
Yeah. So the one before that said famous pop music hits from
John
the
Lennon's the one that died.
Yeah. because I'm just on like the Google search. Okay, the one
Yeah, that's
before
okay.
that says
I had to pause when
Yeah.
you said after Paul McCartney died. I was like, died? When did he die?
dies.
Dies.
I may have said died,
Okay.
but it's dies with an S, like future tense. But the one before that says famous pop music hits from the 1960s won't be in the public domain until 2030s.
Okay.
But it looks like there's another answer that says, so those made before 1969 will have expired by 2064. Audio recordings after that have life plus 70 years. Lennon was assassinated in 1980, so those works expire in 2050.
Gotcha.
Or would, if not for that rule, about 2064 being the primary. So for all of his audio recordings, 2065 is when they hit public domain.
I got you. Yeah, Ringo and Paul McCartney are alive. George Harrison and John Lennon are dead.
Okay. So, and then there's what music is public domain in 2024, and it's going to be recordings first published between 1923 and 1946
Well, that'll be fun.
are public domain.
I know the original Superman and Batman are within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Coming to the public domain.
So in my brain, I was thinking like, oh, that should be coming up soon because I thought it was similar.
For the Superman horror movies.
Oh, God.
Had to really contain my excitement for that one.
Well, 'cause
Although
I
could
thought
see
it would be similar
Batman
to
horror
like,
movie working out.
yeah. Well, I thought it would be similar to like the idea of like characters and images copyright. I didn't know music was so much longer. Like you have to wait so much longer for it to become public domain. Okay.
So yeah, we might never see Mother 3.
Yeah. Because in my brain, I was like, oh, it's coming up. They'll just wait until it comes to public domain, and then they don't have to pay copyright laws. Whoops!
Change the soundtrack.
We'll all be in, like, what, almost 100?
Well, not only the music, but like the characters that are based off the Beatles. Could they be sued for that?
It depends on the likeness.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I know, like, image copyrights are finicky, but there has to be so much percentage of the image that is different.
Yeah.
So it's like whenever, like, say The Simpsons did, like a Beatles
Absolutely.
gag of them walking in the crosswalk across the street.
Mm-hmm.
There was enough different in that image that it wouldn't be considered copyright.
Okay.
As in, like, they didn't have the Beatles' hair, and the background might be different, and, you know, they're girls in the image, whereas, like, the original photo, yeah, it's really wonky.
Bringing it back to Earthbound, I don't know if we're ever going to see, because in Japan it's called Mother. Mother
Okay.
1, Mother 2, Mother 3. In America it's called Earthbound.
Okay.
But, I don't know if we're ever going to see an actual port of Mother 3, whatever it would be called in America. But at this point, I'm just like, why not do a full-on remake of Earthbound like you did the Mario RPG remake?
Yeah.
That would be nice, since that is the
Give
one
a nugget.
that is the one that lives in the U.S.
Yeah.
that we're allowed to have, that we're allowed to celebrate.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, the third entry is taboo.
It makes me so curious. Are there, like, things that the U.S. has that, like, aren't allowed in other countries?
I'm sure.
Because I know, like, not everything is broadcasted everywhere. So it's like, I know that because even Crazy Max said, like, they don't get U.S. TV shows in the Middle East where he's at.
Right.
So it's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's a different culture. It's a different language. It's, you know, a different entertainment. Plus, there are different laws with music and imaging and stuff like that. But it's like how, like, there are Japanese games that are not allowed in the U.S. Like, I wonder if we have things that, like, aren't allowed. Like, if I was accidentally playing music on my phone in France, like, that I would be, like, arrested. Like, what are you
Europe
doing
and
playing
Australia
Miley Cyrus?
are actually
Like,
much worse than us. Like, they have a lot of things just like, they shouldn't be here.
I'm just curious. I know Australia. I didn't know necessarily Europe. I mean, right now, Europe and Japan are a mess anyway. I feel so bad for Japan right now. With their tourism.
Oh, that
like,
debacle.
They've closed the geisha district. So, like, tourists aren't allowed in the geisha district. And it's like, I feel so bad for those people that live there because I'm sure they had a lot of business from tourists.
Yeah.
And I'm angry with the tourists because why can't you just fucking behave yourself?
I don't know.
Like, don't grab the geisha. Don't, you know, if it says don't take pictures, don't fucking take a picture.
There's this one
like,
tourist, I don't know his name, but he always, like, brings his phone and shit and records shit, and he always gets thrown out and harasses the public and
it's
stuff
just
like
like,
that.
why?
I want him to be locked up for life.
And it's just like, why? Like, because you are ruining it for people that genuinely love culture. Just like they put...
For clout. He's a troll.
Well, they put a... It's like a netted material that you can't see through around fucking Mount Fuji. So that if you're a tourist in certain districts, you can't see Mount Fuji.
Rough.
And it's like, I'm not mad at Japan for doing that. Like,
Right.
you're protecting your culture and you're protecting your environment. I'm mad at the fucking tourists that can't control themselves.
Yep.
And there was another one that was like in Hawaii, Stairway to Heaven. And it's like just a giant fucking staircase and the view is supposed to be magnificent. And it's been closed for decades. And people are still sneaking onto it and taking videos and taking pictures. So they're tearing it down.
Yep.
And it's like, that was supposed to be for locals.
Yeah.
And you just had to fucking ruin it.
Yep. This is why we can't have nice things.
It really is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we should be Wardens of Evolution. Well, one of us. Once, twice.
What?
There can only be one Warden of Evolution per species.
I could take him.
I'd fall asleep. You can't even take the covers. This is a weird side quest. So Franz here is like, I saw some unusual tracks. I'm going to take Adol by himself to investigate. And oh, lo and behold, it's these powerful electro bastards.
Well, that's because Franz can handle himself. Look at him. He doesn't even need a weapon.
That's all nice. But this is the one section
He's
where
just
you
gonna punch
solo
him
with
in the
Adol
face.
where I'm just like, why? This is the hardest part in the game for me. With the exception of like the optional super boss that's way over leveled. This is the hardest part in the game.
Did I play the optional super boss?
I don't know if you did or not. You'll know when you see it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, holy shit.
Because I'm pretty sure I went ham because I did a no-no and I looked up like the ending differences and I was like, I need the real one. So, and then I went ham.
The optional super boss, you can get whether you get the true ending or not. It's just tough as balls. And then apparently there's like a post-game dungeon. Like, no story, but like a dungeon that's very similar to Donna's Sanctuary Crypt.
Yeah.
But you can bring the entire party. And apparently that boss is level 99. Yeah.
I don't think I did that.
I haven't done that either. That might be a stream special one day. Maybe like 1 year later, it's like, looking back on you.
Be like, listen, okay, we had to go through every day and fight until we got to level 99 to have a chance.
Well, I mean, I'm already in the early 60s, so it's not going to be too bad. I believe I end this RPG in the late 70s.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what level I'm at. Again, don't quote me on it. But see, I cannot get their time. They're just ragdolling me. I'm just... Yeah, this is not a good moment for me. Good
I mean,
thing
you're
I
also...
have a lot of items.
And so you're also not, flashing. You're not flashing them!
It's hard to flash these guys. They're quick.
I just pictured you being like, look at it! Look at it!
Rips open his green shirt.
Look at it!
There we go. There's a flash move.
Okay.
We got one. One flash move per every 8 primordials. That seems fair. Ow. Agony. Agony. Ah, the pain. Ugh. Hey, another flash move.
I like that they have cabbage worm mobs just like flying around.
Is that what those are? I'm sorry, I can't see them through the genitalia of the primordials shoved in the screen.
I'm sure they're just supposed to be butterflies. And I just recently learned what cabbage moth,
Flash guard.
like, what they look like, and they look like that. And I'm like, huh,
Well, alright.
they better protect their cabbages.
Another one? Where is the last of these? I think that's what I hate the most. They do that stunning Avaladragil roar
Yeah.
that keeps you immobile for a bit, and then they can just pummel you.
Pummel you. Hummel pops out. What? Not you, Hummel.
No, yes, you Hummel. Somebody, anybody.
Everybody scream.
Who the fuck thought
S-I-M-P squirrels in my pants.
primordials are at an all-time high? Let's have Adol just go on his own. They'll be like, oh, must have went with the butler for something. No, man.
But look, he didn't even struggle.
Well, you could say he's one hell of a butler.
I was going to say he's Sebastian. Franz is actually Sebastian.
How come you can't join my party?
Okay, I'm learning a lot about myself. I also love the, like, limitless butler thing. Like, I don't know what it is.
Stereotype?
Like, there's always a butler that's just like, yes, sir. And then they turn around and beat the shit out of, like, 80 people, and then they adjust their collar. Like, my dear, I am so sorry. I'm disheveled. Like, they didn't just destroy an entire army by themselves. I'm like, yes.
There is an obscure RPG I have on the GameCube called Evolution Worlds. It's a port of a Dreamcast game. But basically, the game itself is fine and actually inspired some ideas that I can dive into another point. But my favorite character is Gray the Butler because he's a party member. And every once in a while, he has an ability where he'll be like, hold, fiend! And he pulls out a shotgun. It is the beautiful thing.
Well, it's just like, okay, so you have Black Butler, who is like, I mean, he's a demon, so of course, you know, he takes care of business.
You have Alfred.
You have Alfred. You have Franz. And Mistborn, there's a butler that's just like, yes, ma'am, let me get you some tea. And then he, like, fights off armies, and I'm like, okay. They're like, these people are unkillable. And the butler's like, try me. Like, you know? They're just everywhere. I love it.
There's a game, I don't remember what it is, but you're chasing the villain, and his butler throws down, and he's like the hardest boss in the game.
I love it. I love it.
Because he's just like, I'm sorry, but you cannot come in contact with the master. This ends now. And just, he's completely overpowered.
It's just so great. I don't know what it is that makes me love it.
Like, his master is the more cinematic fight, but he's easier. The battle with the butler is just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. There's something about the, like, OP butler that I'm like, yes.
The leader of the Aquadeers
More,
butler.
Please. Yes.
He's a cool dude.
You know?
Yup.
He's, like, bleeding, half dead, like, yes, kind sir. You know? You'll be fine. It's always the butler.
It's always
and
the
I
butler.
I love it.
We did it!
I mean, Clue.
Yep.
We got a pumpkin pie recipe for that. Oh boy. Endless pie.
I have been
Endless
craving
pie.
pumpkin something fierce. I was very upset that there was chocolate in those pumpkin cookies.
You gotta wait a couple months, and then it's
No.
pumpkin season.
I want pumpkin now.
All right, pumpkin bitch, we'll get there.
Facts.
Pumpkin, pumpkin, Halloween cannon.
So this is cool. Now Master Kong is part of Castaway Village, and he will assist us in the raids.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we only have one more raid, though. I think. We might have done all the raids.
Shubil is staring at you. She goes, I know you have fish, bitch.
Yeah, I have a lot. I have an S rank fish, so you better appreciate that. Nope, not enough. Alright. S rank fish, let's do this. Well, first, we'll do the hint area, I guess. Squaw! Nope, not enough. Alright. Now it's time for the big guns. S rank fish! What?
How? How was that not enough? I just like that the little girl is just staring at them like...
Mm-hmm. Well, she's beloved by all the animals.
I know, I was talking about, there's this little girl that comes into work all the time, and I don't really deal with her a lot. She's not in my department too often.
Okay.
But when she's very friendly, and everyone in the store loves her. And I'm so awkward with kids. She's very outgoing, very outspoken, and like, I'm just like, she's gonna go far, you know, she's a very like, sturdy child. But I just like, I hate it, because when she does come over to my department, she like, looks at me and she just stares. And I'm like, can you blink? Like, what are you doing?
Aw.
And I'm like, I have nothing for you here.
All of that, and I don't think I found a single pure orichalcum. All that advancement in the story. We got the white wine. We sent the boat on its maiden voyage and said, yeah, we'll be sailing soon. We've helped the butler with all the dinosaurs.
Where's the
orichalcum?
I was gonna say, there should be like an exclamation point for where to go for your orichalcum.
Well, let's start with the Sky Garden. Let's see what lies beneath.
Gotta poop, gotta poop, gotta poop.
Yep. Well, there's treasure chests beneath the surface, but there's also those like aquatic primordials that I don't like dealing with if I can help it.
I don't think I ever got that specific treasure chest because there was one like directly below the surface.
There is one directly below.
And I just couldn't beat him.
Okay. So he probably is like a rare nasty then. So we'll avoid that for now.
That bug looks like a giant aphid.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Alright. Well, there's a symbol here. So let's see what's over this way. Alright, Debbie Downer.
She's like, I'm just trying to be real. Listen, as somebody who is often called the Debbie Downer, it's okay, Donna. You can be a Donna Downer.
A Donna Downer?
It's okay. We love you anyway.
It's true. Sounded like Adam Sandler with that. Hey, I'm called the Debbie Downer.
Whap.
You're wrong, Colonel Sanders. Mama's always right.
Said the Abdullah Ablagata.
Well, folks, Mama's wrong.
Well, I think that's because he just like he pushes his bottom jaw forward and then holds his tongue down. So he kind of just talks something like this. It gives you a little bit of a lisp, but it also makes you only talk with your soft palate.
Ah. Teaching me how to do voice acting, huh?
No.
I didn't think so. I'm kidding.
You know what they say, those who can't do, teach.
Alright. I wonder what's up here behind this giant infernal dinosaur.
Ooh.
Look out.
Zahan!
Whoops, whoops, whoops.
Push him over!
Fine.
Push him over!
Yeah, really. We'll knock him into the water below. He can't swim with those scrawny arms. That's from The Land Before Time.
Yeah.
When they basically plan a hit on the sharp tooth.
Oh my
They're like, we're gonna kill that sumbitch. He can't swim in that. We're gonna orchestrate a murder. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Listen, this is not a sturdy area to be fighting. If this was Breath of the Wild, I'd be knocked and ragdolled down the mountain.
Yeah. You just hear Link,
And then he's long dead and he's still rolling. And then it says game over.
his corpse just continues to fall down the mountain.
My least favorite is when you kill an enemy, they explode and the materials fall down the fucking mountain. I'm just like, I needed that.
That is a qualm that I have. Of like, you'll use like an arrow or something to take down an enemy that's like over the water. And instead of the item coming to you, it just falls down into the void.
Yep.
But there's no way you could have gotten it anyway.
Right.
And I'm just like, why give that enemy an item that just falls into the abyss?
Frustrating.
My life points! No!
That's why I like games where the items come to you.
Yes.
Or
They
at
like-
least you
they
get
like
an
zoom.
equipment to where you can magnetize them.
Yeah.
Alright, in the next episode, more Yees.
Toodles!